Hi, this is Charlie with Boxing Focus and a follow-up to Wladimir Klitschko against Pulev. And, that was a best fight that Wladimir Klitschko has been in years. It really was. And that's, he has a lot of haters, and understandably so, and it was good for him because he performed really well. Yeah, it was very. After the first minute or so, got very loose. Was throwing great throwing shots with great technique, and Pulev was just overmatched. Just didn't see those hooks coming. He couldn't get out the way of them the entire fight, and they were just getting harder and harder. And until eventually, he was absolutely flattened. Is the word. But we saw his vulnerability again. I mean, he walked onto a hard jab probably 20 or so seconds into the fight, and his knees buckled, and the old Wladimir Klitschko, or whatever you want to call it, he just slumped all over Pulev, was holding on for dear life, and then changed the momentum of the fight massively with a big left hook, and dropped Pulev twice in that round. So fantastic fight. But I managed to get a video up just at the last minute. I think it'll have been uploaded sometime during the fight, saying that I didn't like Pulev's style. I didn't think stylistically he was good for in a fight versus Klitschko, because his head was static. You watch the Thompson fight, you watch the past Pulev fights, and the guy, his head's really stationary, and it's just one of those things that comes from a lack of depth in the sport, a massive technical flaw that he gets away with because he's big. So the vast majority of people that he spars with, that he fights in his early career, that's fine because he's bigger than them, and he's more talented than them, and he's technically better than them. So even though his head's stationary, he sees the punches coming, or he's big enough to absorb the punches, and he can generally move out the way or take them. But then you get to it, it always happens, they get to a certain level, usually a world level, where that stationary head is now a massive millstone, because all of a sudden the punches are, the guys are bigger, they're faster, they've got better technique, and they throw harder, and you're not moving. A stationary target is easy to hit. And, top fighters move all the time. Even Klitschko, you see, was Wladimir Klitschko's head stationary? No, he's either moving on his feet or he's moving his head slightly. He's presenting a little bit of a puzzle, which is why Pulev, even though he was a similar-ish size to him, slightly smaller than Klitschko, he wasn't having very much success, because Klitschko was making it hard for him to hit, whereas he was making it easy for Klitschko to hit him, and he wasn't able to take the shots, which is unsurprising. No matter how tough you are, you got someone Klitschko's size throwing such massive power shots, and you're just taking them flush. It's not going to go far. I was a little bit annoyed with myself. I wanted to put some money on it, but I left it too late. But that was the first victory in a while on Klitschko's resume that actually meant anything. Pulev was a big, tough fighter. It was an exciting fight, and hopefully he keeps that up. Hopefully he doesn't pick another Lipai or Mormek to fight. Shannon Briggs was in the audience. Mixed feelings on that one. No, Briggs does not deserve a shot. No, I don't think Briggs would win. But Briggs is the same size as Klitschko. But Briggs is, technically he's alright as a boxer. He's quite good. But he's in good condition. But he's strong, and he takes a really good shot. 12 rounds he fought with basically one arm against Vitaly Klitschko, and Vitaly couldn't put him away. Vitaly hits almost as hard as Wladimir, and that was with one arm, and he stuck in there and he fought well, and apparently he got screwed over by Team Klitschko. So I wouldn't actually be upset if Briggs got the shot. I thought that is more interesting than Mormek, Lipai, Vac, Panetta, all these kind of nobodies or tiny fighters, or that he's brought up recently, in order, he's dug them up in order to be opponents. And apparently, they're rated number one by the bodies. You're telling me that Klitschko doesn't, as a unified heavyweight world champion, doesn't have any influence over these things? Him and his team are basically dictating more or less the terms on this. They are, and if you don't think that, you're naive. They're the power players in the heavyweight division at the moment. They influence the politics. They wouldn't have fought Lipai or Mormek if they didn't want to. I mean, So this was the first good opponent since David Hay, as far as I'm concerned. Even Povetkin was massively overmatched, nowhere near big enough. At least Hay represented a threat, even if he didn't actually, even if he did have a broken toe. Poor David. But yeah, who to fight next? Wouldn't mind Briggs. Just be interesting. Just the build-up alone would be entertaining. And after the beating he took against Wladimir Klitschko, I don't even begrudge him the payday. Obviously, would love to see Stavern or Wilder fight Wladimir. I think Stavern would provide a good test. I think Stavern would be a pretty tough fight for Wladimir Klitschko, because Stavern's pretty good. Technically, he's a good, solid fighter. Chisora, I think he represents everything that's dangerous to Wladimir. I think Chisora would take him deep and stop him. I really would love to see a fit, strong Chisora. I mean, if you got Chisora's in pretty decent condition against Vitaly, but he's in much better condition now. And still, he took Vitaly 12 hard rounds, hardest fight of Vitaly's career since the Lennox Lewis fight. So I'd love to see him in there. Tyson Fury, I think, would be a really tough fight for Wladimir, just because he's just a big, tough lummox with very, very long arms and a hard shot on him, and loves a bit of a war. That'll be an entertaining fight. I think there's plenty of options. I think there always has been good options out there. People say that the division's weak. Yes, it's weak, but he's still fought not the best. He's still gone the next rung down in order to find opponents, and that's why people are pissed off. That's why people hate on Wladimir Klitschko. You go, he's ranked by sanctioning body XYZ. Who gives a fuck about sanctioning body XYZ? We care about who is the best current potential challenger, and nothing to do with boxing politics. That's boxing fans want to see the most exciting fights, not what some old grey-haired guy thinks is best for his organisation. And hopefully we'll get some more of those in the future. Interesting. It was good to see Wladimir in a good fight. This is Charlie with Boxing Focus. Let me know what you think.